We'll talk about a view. Ever heard of Sharon, Georgia? It's right down the road in Taliaferro County.
It is small, barely a dot on the map, but that's part of the appeal for a group who created an astronomy village there, far away from big city lights and noise. It's not a place you'd ever find by accident. A place where your GPS is about as useful as a car wash. A little village where a group of amateur astronomers study galaxies far, far away. People live out here permanently?
Some do, yeah.
I do.
It all started a little over 10 years ago when Chris Hetledge and a buddy from Atlanta were looking for a place they could enjoy their hobby, away from the big city lights.
So we would go out into the mountains or, up in North Georgia or wherever we had to go and drag all of our equipment, which in some cases was a lot of equipment.
But they were looking for something more permanent. How did you land on Sharon, Georgia?
It was actually previously owned back during the Civil War days by a guy who was an astronomer.
It's like fate.
It's kind of like fate.
And while typically a rural county with little chance of growth sounds like a bad thing, it was exactly what they were looking for.
Economically, there's not a lot of growth here. There's not a lot popping up. The chances of a Walmart or a Home Depot showing up here aren't very good.
And so Deer Lick Astronomy Village was born, getting its name from a collection of galaxies. 96 acres of wide-open stargazing heaven that come with a few strings attached.
Each homeowner has to agree to the covenants, and one of the covenants is you can't have lights inside your house that shine outside.
That includes car headlights. You can only use red lights at night. It won't mess up the view for these deep sky enthusiasts who enjoy late nights.
There's a noise ordinance as well. We don't want loud animals or chickens.
It's the quietest red light district you'll ever find.
I mean, this is the kind of place where it's not unusual to walk down the road at 1 o'clock in the morning and, knock on a neighbor's door and have a conversation with them in the middle of the night.
But instead of asking for a cup of sugar, these neighbors are asking about supernovas.
Dan, you home?
Even though they call themselves amateur astronomers, their gear is anything but.
Let's just say that my observatory is insured for more than my house.
Most of the roofs out here retract.
Roof is closed.
In some cases, the entire observatory is on tracks.
She's got it on a key fob, like your car. Let me just open my observatory. How about this?
Out here, the real fun begins when the sun goes down.
We got 4 moons of Jupiter.
A lot of their discoveries and photos taken out here have been published. Some even work with NASA.
So there's a little mecca of local astro celebrities that live out here.
A lifelong fascination that started for so many of them as kids, staring up at the night sky.
I can remember seeing Saturn for the first time when I was 7 years old at the Fernbank Science Center, and that lit off something.
Which is why they make it a point to give back. They host scout troops for camping trips and have the kids at Taliaferro County schools visit to get a look behind the lens.
Hopefully that'll be a spark in somebody out here that will change their life and send them down the path of discovery.
A path that may give you a crick in your neck, but will never leave your sense of wonder thirsty. This place is just so cool and very unique. There are only 4 astronomy villages, anything like this in the entire country. Most of those are out west. Because of light pollution, it's really tough to find places like Sharon, Georgia, with 0 light pollution on the East Coast.
I want to hang out with astro celebrities. Can anybody go out there and check it out?
Well, yes and no. So there's 28 lots where people own homes. A lot of the people we met, some of them lease properties. That's private, but there's also this giant wide open field. They host a lot of parties every year. They host star parties or meteor shower parties. And so we've put a lot of that information on our website. Just go to WRDW.com.
And just standing there looking up, how great was it?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, not looking up, looking through the telescope. I mean, because the things that these guys are just able to point out of nowhere, it was amazing.
Got to check it out. Interesting. Kevin, I know you'd like it too.
I'll tell you
on
what.
your side with your hour-by-hour forecast.
Richard and Voice in the Sky, those guys are my new heroes because they're just so awesome. That looks great. Looks like a lot of fun. Maybe we can check it out someday. I know Laura had a lot of fun.